This is a view of my filter house taken way back around, I don't know, 1999 or something like that, or shortly after. Now, it is quite a large filter house. In fact, the dimensions are 30 feet long by 10 feet wide by just about 7.5 feet deep. It's half in ground and half out of the ground. And this is how the filter house ran from round about 1999 to about 2008. As you can see, there are in fact 12 large vortex systems in the filter house, and they each held about 160 gallons of water. So the 12 of them all combined held a total of 1,920 gallons of water. Now, as you can see, there was very little space with which I could get down between them to service them. And if you notice, there's a small cabinet at the end of the filter house where I could store some of my medications. Now, moving on to the next photograph. One moment, please. Yeah, here's the next photograph. That's better. Get it on the center. Yeah, there are, if you can see this, there are 7 large output water pumps there. The blue one's on the top, and if I can get to it, yeah, there's a bigger one underneath that desk to power the waterfall. Now, this filter system ran, as I've said before, from 1999 to around 2008. And I'm ashamed to admit this, but the running costs on that system were approximately £1,500 per month. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but in those days my company was paying for the running costs, so I didn't really mind at the time. However, that all changed in 2008. But to go on about this system, it never really produced clear water. It was a nightmare to look after. In fact, it took 2 of my guys about 2 days per month to clean it out thoroughly. The reason it didn't work as well as I thought is because I didn't know at the time that these vortex units are simply upward flow boxes, and only well, less than 10% of the media surfaces come into contact with the incoming water from the pond. So that's about it for the old system. Now, in 2008 or 2009, I simply couldn't afford to run the system as it was. So I had about 3 years debating whether I should, 2 years debating whether I should shut it down, the whole pond, fill it in and revert to a garden. But after suggestions that had been made by my wife and a friend, it was decided to remove all the equipment from the inside of the filter house, sell it for as much money as I could, which wasn't a lot of money, and replace it with something more budget conscious than anything else. So, and here we go. I think it was about in 2011 this was how the filter house was looking. Now, you see that I've been able to add an indoor growing tank and a filter for small koi. The floor area has substantially increased. I've put a new filter on, being an Epic filter. Well, nowadays it is. It started with Eric and went on from there. Now my running costs have been reduced to £20 a month instead of £1,500 a month. As you can see, I've got lots of space now. This is a cabinet for accessories. These are 2 large cabinets for pipework and fittings that I may need in the future. I've got a desk, which I can show you on the next one, and a chair. And I also have a place for my microscope and other items of equipment that are vital for keeping koi. So this is not just it's not just giving me more space, it's allowed me to put more items inside the same filter house. It now takes me 90 seconds to clean my filter, which I'll show you on the next shot. So what I've done, I've replaced 12 upward flow filters with 1 single horizontal flow filter. And now moving on to the last shot. That's it. The shot's been taken from the indoor quarantine tank towards a door. And this here is the Epic filter. I'm sure you can see the space it takes up now. There's my desk with a chair, and there's the microscope. This is another angle on the storage cabinet, but I've got another storage cabinet up here. Two more, which I've shown you already. And best of all is the pond is now absolutely crystal clear, just with that one tiny filter. Should I say again, that tiny horizontal flow filter. And going back to the first part of this video where I said that the 12 vortex systems held a total water volume of 1920 gallons, this tiny Epic filter only holds 55 gallons. Hence the reason I can run it so cheaply. I think I've said all I need to say about the filter house, but I hope you realise now why I'm so fond of my filter systems. And they've saved me a fortune over only a few years. So, thanks for watching. Thank you.